Morning, Joy. How are you?
Morning, Karen. Oh, just a moment. I've not started streaming. Uh,
Morning, Joy. Are you able to hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Karen?
Okay. Now I can hear you.
Okay. Uh,
Okay.
just a moment before we start. Um, my
Mhm.
YouTube, my
I was just
Gmail.
wondering if the network was okay because, yeah,
You can hear me?
yes, I can now. I can hear you.
Maybe I'll just switch.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm switching my network. So just a moment. I change my connection.
It's okay. Okay.
Finally. Finally, I can see you.
Okay. Is it scratch to reveal? Can you really see me?
Uh-huh. I was saying I don't know what is happening to my name, but I really want it to. I really want us to, because I can hear the stream is still on. I'll just cut this first part. Okay, so we can officially start our conversation.
Mm,
Yeah. Okay. So in one, two, three, we are starting.
okay.
Okay. The argument that cleaning the plastics, you should not laugh. I have to have an intro. Okay. The argument that having single cleaning plastic from the ocean is sort of symptom-based approach is actually a very bold statement. Welcome to our first episode of Talking Trash, where we unpack the the realities and the mess that is in the environmental issues. And I am your host, Joyo Mulama. Joining me today is my lovely friend and colleague, who is an environmental conservation expert. She's very She's an expert in so many things when it comes to environmental conservation. So she has 5 years of and more experience in this space. She's actually very young, so I don't know where she got the 5 years experience, but she'll tell us when she gives us her introduction. And she's an expert in implementing circular economy principles, solid waste management, and community development. So, Karen, before I mess up your introduction, just give us your introduction. Tell us who you are, what you want us to know before we jump into the conversation.
Thank you, Joy. And I'm really excited and thrilled to be your first guest. I mean, no pressure at all.
No
but
pressure.
no pressure, zero pressure at all. I don't feel it where I am. So, thank you for the lovely introduction. How I will describe myself. I will describe myself as an environmental champion. My passion really lies in protecting the environment, and particularly, I have a bias for the ocean. So, for the past 5 years, I've been in the marine conservation space. And over the years, I've gathered a experience when it comes to circular economy, when it comes to waste management, and even marine litter prevention. Currently, the operations manager at EcoWorld Recycling, and I'm really excited and happy to share my experience and also share what I know and also kind of learn because you never stop learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen, for that awesome introduction. Yeah, I know you are a good, you're the right first guest. That's why I picked you. And no pressure. And so before we like get into the dialogue and conversation, let's play a game. I don't know if you know the quick fire questions.
Okay.
So I ask you a question and you answer it as
Well,
quickly as possible. And you've said something
okay.
interesting. You have a bias uh, for the ocean. I think you'll have to share with us why that is so and why that how that bias came to be. Because I know a lot of people, also if you didn't grow up along the coast, a lot of people don't have that deep interest for the ocean. So you'll have to tell us why the ocean and how
Mhm.
did this bias come to be. Okay, so let's have a quick fire question
Okay.
session. So the first question, if you were not an environmental conservation expert, which career
Yes,
path would you take?
pardon, your camera froze for a while. I didn't get the question.
Okay. So if you were not an environmental conservation expert, which
Mm-hmm.
career path would you take?
Education.
Wow, I did not expect that, honestly. I did not see that coming. Okay. Second question.
Camera, you're frozen, Joy.
Oh, okay. I think the network is up and down. You know our network and our problems. It's a hassle.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Joy.
Okay.
Sorry, I think there's a network issue because I didn't get the question. Your video was frozen.
Okay. So the second question, can you get me? Hmm? Can you get me? I asked you the second question.
Yeah, go again. Proceed with the second question.
Okay. So what is one quote that really sticks with you? Like that quote that you can't just forget about it.
One quote that sticks with me. Hmm. Now that I'm on the hot seat, what's that one quote? I'm trying to find the right one to sound really deep. What what is that one quote? I'll go with the cheesy one. Teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. I see you're a team player. You're a team player. Okay, so the final question in our quick fire session.
Mhm.
So let's get to your bias. What is the most interesting part about being in the
Mhm.
circular economy and marine litter space? Because I know those are your your specialities. So what's interesting about it?
The most interesting is the reward that comes with seeing the impact. So, being in the circular economy space, that has given me the platform to work with community members and sort of instead of just sitting at the back and just complaining about the problem, having the opportunity to actually do something about it. And while at it, work with the community, that's the most rewarding part about the work that I do. And then when it comes to the bias for the ocean, I would say that came about in 2019 when I was doing my volunteership at Watamu Marine Association. So during that period, I got an opportunity to just witness firsthand the impact of the problem, and I would say from just seeing how marine litter affects, and most particularly within the coastal region, I would say I was totally sold, and that's where that's where my bias stems from.
Okay, okay. So you are not the type that came from up country and you're like, I'm so scared of the ocean. I'm not getting into that big mass of water.
It was actually the opposite. I was really looking forward to get to see that big mass of water
Ah.
because even in our country where we are at, I would say we are a landlocked. a landlocked. I'm from Machakos County, in case you're wondering,
Yeah, we
and
understand.
I'll get in trouble for saying this, I'll get in trouble for saying this, but you see what they say about water crisis and water issues
Yeah.
in the eastern part of our country.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to confirm that is true.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm really looking forward to coming to see that big mass of water.
Okay. So we are not being lied to when we are told some people don't have water.
Where no, it's yeah. I'd like to confirm that it is the truth.
Okay, okay, okay. I didn't know that. Where I come from, I don't think we have
Mm.
a water crisis. I actually live uh, close to a river. I've grown up swimming in a river. I was excited about seeing the ocean, but I have grown near a river, so I don't understand your struggles, but I
Mm.
sympathize with them.
Thank you.
Um,
I feel seen.
okay, that was the intention. Okay, so today I wanted you to speak about something. So I've been reading about a lot of topics and okay, so that was a friend of mine asking me for something. I had to respond.
No
Okay,
worries.
yeah. So I've been reading about like you said, we can't stop learning. We are always learning. So
Mm.
whenever I'm reading, I've been reading about marine litter because we are approaching the World Ocean Day and World Environment Day. And since we are in along the coast, most of the attention is in the marine ecosystem, so the ocean ecosystem, and that is understandable because a lot of the economic activities along the coast are actually very dependent on that ecosystem. But there is one
Mm.
discussion that I met, I think, on Reddit, and I had to research more. And it was the argument that marine biologists are coming into like a mini consensus that the cleanups that we are doing are actually bad for the marine ecosystem. I don't know what you think about that statement.
Even before I get to that statement, um, I'll just like to share a bit of an analogy. and please indulge me. So I shared I come from Machakos County,
Yes.
and water crisis is a thing. So back home, what we used to do, cause we used to have water rationing, and we didn't. Sometimes we wouldn't even guess which days that the water would be coming. So what we'll do is we'll leave our taps open and then leave like a bucket or uh, yeah, basically leave a bucket so that when water comes in, even if it's in the middle of the night, we have a plan of when water is coming in. So when water comes in in the middle of the night, then we can quickly wake up and start filling our tanks, filling our jerrycans, so that the drill. We leave the taps open, but let's just
Yeah.
say nobody, none of us, including me, my siblings, had when the water was trickling. And it so happened that the tap that we had left, we had forgotten to remove the plug for the sink. So what happened is that the water came and then the whole living room, the kitchen was flooded. So waking up, we woke up to basically the mess of water flooded in our living room and in our living space. So in such a situation, what would you have done?
Mm. That honestly, let me just honestly indulge you in this analogy. Uh, uh, I'd say it would depend on how old I am. If I'm so young, my mind would go to this is so exciting. The sitting room is like filled with water. I can jump in this water. If I am right now, the first thing
Mm,
I'd be so stressed out, but I would quickly try
mm,
and figure out how to solve the mess that I'm in at the moment. So that would be my first
exactly.
approach. Like, let me solve this before I mess everything. Because obviously, if your living
Mm,
room is flooded, you have a bit of things
mm,
that have been spoiled. Maybe your extension was down on the floor, so that is gone. But you have maybe your coach
mm,
is not as filled with water as the rest of the things. So I'll be like, let's save the coach, then analyze
mhm.
the problem and solve that later. Yeah.
Okay, so how would you go about solving that problem?
So the first solving the problem. So the first thing is clean out the water.
Mm-hmm.
If it's mopping, if it's too much, and we are in Africa, most of us have siblings. So from the
Mm,
youngest to the eldest, pick a bucket, start scooping the water from the floor as quickly as possible. Do whatever you can to
mm,
get the water out of our living space. Yeah.
mm, mm. And thank you. And then after that, of course, if the water is still coming out of the tap, close the tap to
Yeah.
ensure as you're not doing double work, cleaning while water
Why?
keeps on flowing,
Yeah, that is a
right?
definite.
Right. So, so it's the same thing when it comes to beach cleanups. So in the fight against marine litter pollution, it's not one solution that fixes everything. So we have to take a balanced approach, and we have the reactive measures and we also have the proactive measures. So in such a situation, the water flooding the living room and the kitchen, I will say that is the amount of waste that we currently have, the existing waste that we currently have within the environment that technically needs to be removed and it needs to be clean, because if we leave it in the environment, then it causes more harm than good. But it doesn't stop there. That is just one piece of the puzzle. So we move ahead and now try to address the root problem. So what caused the flooding in the house? It's the tap that was left on. So in terms of marine litter pollution, so yes, we are trying to solve the problem of the existing waste, but the conversation should now shift to how can we stop the waste from reaching the environment or the ocean in the first place. And that is where now the proactive measures come in. So proactive measures in that this includes trying to push for systematic change, and systematic change can only come when we have the right policies, the right legislations in place. Then we move to our production and consumption. Are we moving towards sustainable production and consumption, or are we still stuck in our traditional methods whereby is take resources from the environment, make products, and then dispose the products into the environment? So when it comes to beach cleanups, um, pro beach cleanups, but I would also add a caveat that it is not the only solution. It is just a piece in the puzzle, just a part of the solution. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree and disagree with you. I agree that yes,
Mm-hmm.
beach cleanups is not the only solution that we can have when it comes to marine litter. And we also have to think about further away from just the beach, the plastic in the ocean. Because we have, like you said, we have to figure out where is it coming from. How are we going to solve that problem from that end before these plastics are in the ocean? Because the idea is we do not want the plastic in the oceans. So if we only wait for
Mm-hmm.
the plastic to enter the ocean, then clean it, now that is counterproductive. So at the moment,
Yeah.
we already have plastic existing in the ocean. So the beach cleanup serve that purpose. But there is the other cap for beach cleanups, because if you're having beach cleanups very regularly and you're walking on that beach, cleaning the beach and disturbing the beach, or maybe you're doing ocean surface cleanups, that brings another issue in the cleanups, because now
Mm-hmm.
you have to think about it. What's the carbon footprint of these beach cleanups? If you're bringing people every single day to the beach cleanups, are they stepping on the crabs? Are they stepping on the animals that are at the beach? Are they disturbing the marine life by coming to clean the beach every single day? Is that what we want in the long run? Like, is that what we want? And is it effective? Like the ocean surface ocean cleanups, how effective are they? Are we just putting out technology that is killing fish instead of collecting the plastic? So there is no one way, in my opinion, there is no one way of saying beach cleanups or cleanups are bad or good. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
very categorical on how you organize the beach cleanups, because we do not want you organizing beach cleanups and your carbon footprint per beach cleanup is actually too much, that we start saying, okay, I think you guys should take a break in cleaning this beach.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's dirty, but you're doing too much. We shouldn't reach to that point, because if we reach to that point, I think that is also counterproductive. Yeah. Uh,
I agree with what you said, and I think you've already alluded to how to an answer to the question that you just asked. So we are not in contest that beach cleanups are good and we need to do beach cleanups, because we need to address the waste that is already existing within the environment. I think the conversation is how do we go about it, and in the quest of solving one problem, we don't create a million other problems out of,
exactly. I think
out of,
that is the statement that sums it up so well. Uh,
yeah,
we can't be creating new problems by trying to solve the old.
exactly.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think
But
that's yes. Go ahead.
yeah, and just to add on, because you also asked, do I think if the beach cleanups are effective? So my answer for that is that yes, to some extent, beach cleanups are effective, especially within the organization that I work for, Eco World Recycling. I've seen how the beach cleanups have transformed to be a tool for awareness creation. So it's one thing to speak to people about the problem, but once you take the community to the ground and they actually see the scale and the extent of the problem, they kind of now buy in to even them like engaging and trying to be part of the solution. So the beach cleanups have come in handy. as a tool for creation of awareness, especially when it comes to the marine litter pollution issue, and also even with the data collection. So I mentioned earlier about systematic change, and one ways to do that is through policy and regulation. But most often, what informs good policy is the data that we have in place. So through the beach cleanups and collecting and getting off that marine litter from the ocean and trying to analyze, see the types, see the amounts and quantities, we are able now to inform the policymakers on, hey, this is where the problem is, and this is the data to back this, and this is how we think that we can solve this issue. So I would say in terms of creation of awareness, in terms of the data and how that data we collect and how that data is one of the advantages or why I would support beach cleanups. And then of course for the obvious, the direct impact it has on our marine life. So yeah, I think to that extent, beach cleanups are effective, but also on the flip side, where we get it wrong is pumping a lot of resources to the beach cleanups and forget to do the same for the proactive measures that we've spoken about. So if I also had an opportunity to read the article that you are alluding to. So most of the companies, the manufacturers are guilty of this, pumping a lot of money and resources to the, I would say, the first aid measures, but really little, or I won't say little effort, but not much resources are poured into now the proactive sort of solutions, so to say. So I think the conversation now should shift. Okay, beach cleanups are good and we need resources. Actually, we need resources for the beach cleanup because they're quite expensive. Mobilizing people, transport and logistics for getting the waste from the beach, yes, needs funding. But we also need funding for good legislations. We need funding to set up the MRF facility because, okay, we've cleaned the marine litter off the beach. So where do we take the litter? Are we taking it back to the landfill and then after some time it's washed up again, to the ocean? Do we have resources to set up better waste management infrastructure whereby we've educated the community on this is the way to go, these are the better waste management practices, but they don't have infrastructure to dispose of, so to speak, their ways. So what are we really doing, and what are we hoping to achieve? Is it the short term gains, or are we here for the long term wins?
Interesting, Karen. You've actually raised two very important questions. The first, you've raised very important issues. The first one is thinking of beach cleanups just beyond the cleanup and actually on the impact that it has, not just to the environment, but also to the communities. Because we cannot separate communities from the environment. We have to exist together to thrive together. So if the beach cleanup is purposefully for just cleaning the beaches, then we miss the impact that it can have in the long run, where we can have these communities aware that they can actually stop,
Mhm.
they can do something else at their own personal levels, community levels, that will support the efforts of us not having marine litter at our beaches. And the second thing that you've raised is about resources. So yes, it is easier to pump in a lot of resources into beach cleanups and forget the other proactive measures that we can take, because we have to have people lobbying for better policies when it comes to marine litter, when it comes to, because you can't, like in Kenya we have the single-use plastic ban in our national
Mhm.
parks and reserves, but that only works where there is a national park or reserve. When you go to the side that there is no national park, then there is no ranger to police who is coming in with a single use plastic. So what do those communities
Yeah.
have to do? because there is a ban, but the ban only supports a small area. So what will these communities
Mm,
do? So if we use the beach cleanups for this kind of awareness, then we get better results in the long run. And if we distribute our resources,
mm,
because yeah, as you said, beach cleanups are are expensive.
yeah.
Yeah, and they definitely need resources. So we have to balance
Yes.
our resources and our the way we allocate our resources. So the other question that I want to
Mm,
ask you is, what is your opinion on youth taking an active role in now beyond the beach cleanups? Because if you, I don't know if you've realized this, but the youth are really coming into the beach cleanup activities and these cleanup initiatives. But what is your opinion on them taking a similar active role when it comes to lobbying for resources for facilities, infrastructure, lobbying resources for innovations, being at the forefront, advocating for better policies? I don't know. What is your opinion on youth specifically
mm.
when it comes to these proactive actions that we have to take to have better impact on our environment?
Thank you for that question. And I know you want me to speak specifically about the youth, but I would like to also open it up to actually everyone. Because when it comes to finding solutions on marine litter pollution and even the greater challenge, which is poor waste management, we actually need every actor, every stakeholder just coming on board and everyone just playing their role. So I would say for the youth, there is a, a good opportunity for them to actually push and advocate for greater impact. And I will say, especially with the circular economy, it provides an opportunity for everyone to play a role. So how the youth are coming in is, apart from just, okay, we've taken the trash out of the beach or out of the environment, but now how what do we do with the trash? So that there lies the opportunity. Number one, there is employment. So what we are trying to say in circular economy is that waste is not waste unless you waste it, unless you just throw it. And basically what I'm trying to say is that waste is a resource.
Yeah, you're hitting us
Waste
with so
is a
many
resource.
quotes.
And yeah. So, and I know, and they didn't come when we were starting this live, but oh well. I think it's the nerves. It's the
Yeah.
nerves. So back to what I was saying. So especially here in Kenya, we have a challenge of youth unemployment. But with circular economy, where we are saying that waste is a resource, there lies great opportunities for the same youth to have actually to be self-employed, basically using waste as a resource. So right now with the Waste Management Act, the Sustainable Waste Management Act, the counties are charged in setting up MRF facilities. So these are the spaces that the youth can, so to speak, occupy. I know that occupy sparks up emotion, but
Definitely.
the youth can occupy this space. And then, because of our zeal and how knowledgeable we are, we are the ones to push for, better legislations. When it comes to marine litter monitoring, we can easily do that. Gather the data and then sit down with the policymakers and actually show them this is where the problem is and this is how we think, that we can solve this problem. So there's a lot of opportunities for the youth, and they're up there to just take those low lying fruits. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. I think you've brought us to an aspect that we had not spoken about during this conversation. We were talking
Yeah.
mostly about marine litter, but now you've brought in the aspect of circular economy. I remember I said you are good at implementing circular economy principles. So it is actually good that you've come back to that aspect. So in the circular economy, by definition, it's by us at least ensuring that the resources that we currently have stay in use as long as possible. And if possible, we do not create new products that no one is going to use. Because at the moment, we have a problem with
Mm.
overconsumption and overproduction. There is just too much of everything. Uh, and in that light, you read the article that I also read when I decided that we are going to have this conversation with you. I don't know what you think about the kind of technology that is being used in cleaning the ocean surface, because it's an interesting aspect of circular economy, because you think about innovation. How are we going to innovate better so that our systems are better, our products are better, are circular, they can stay in the loop for a longer time. So what's your take on cleaning technology, like ocean cleanup technologies, like the ocean cleanup, the one that they use to clean the Great Pacific garbage patch?
So what I can say about that is that with circular economy, the underlying principle is actually sustainability. So, whatever action or whatever measure we take, we have to ask ourselves what is the social impact, what is the environmental impact, and what is the economic impact. So, even with the innovations that we are coming up with, I know circular economy advocates and promotes for innovation, but we have to ask ourselves that question. So, with these innovations that we're bringing on board, what are the environmental impacts of this innovation? What are the economic impacts and what are the social impacts, so that we don't find ourselves, we are developing our economy, we are developing social impact, creating employment and all of that, but at the risk of harming the environment. So these three things have to go along together. Yeah.
Thank you, Karen. You've really, I think I've learned a lot from just you discussing this issue of marine litter and circular economy. I was right when I decided to invite you. When I read that article, I was like, Karen would be so good for this discussion. And I've not missed. Like in Kenya, we are saying, Sijabant. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm
Uh,
good. I feel like I chose the right person for this first episode. And I would just like us to conclude our conversation here. I know there is so much that can be said
yeah.
about this specific topic. And this is just us scratching the surface. We have not even gone to solid waste management and all those aspects. So we cannot
Yeah.
complete the conversation just in one sitting. But I will surely invite
Yeah.
you for another sitting, just in the same line of discussion. And before we end the session, I just want you to give us your closing remarks, anything that you want to share with us. And then, of course, I just want to remind the audience, anyone that if you watch anyone watching, obviously it's on YouTube, so like, subscribe, and comment. So what I want us to do is I want you guys to comment and ask questions that you think Karen did not answer, and you want to hear from her. You want a question in marine litter answered. You want a question in circular economy answered. Just leave it in the comment section, and I will surely force her into another session. I'm using the word force in a very light tone. It will not be physical. It will not be anything. it will not it will not be an abduction, but she will be on another
No.
session answering your questions. That one is a guarantee. So yeah, Karen, just give us your final remarks as we close.
Um, thank you, Joy, and thank you for making it easy for me. As I had shared earlier, being in front of the camera is not my thing. I like being in the background and just doing the work and just letting the work speak for itself. But well, it's been an amazing experience just sharing my expertise and knowledge. So as a parting shot is just a reminder that each one of us has a role to play, especially when it comes to waste management, it's not a government thing, it's not an NGO thing. Like everyone, we have our role to play. And it all starts by the decisions that we make on a daily basis, like you choosing not to buy that plastic bottle and carrying your reusable bottle is already a win. You sharing the knowledge that you have and having more people understand the why behind why we are so passionate about better managing our waste is already a win. So what I will say, I'll come back to the quote that I had shared. Teamwork makes the dream work. So it will take all of us, literally all of us, not just the youth. Mm. As the youth, we can be there on the front line, but it will take all of us to find solutions for the marine litter pollution and basically implementing better waste management practices. So it's been wonderful to be here and looking forward. Looking forward to the, to the sessions that we'll have.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for joining. It was a pleasure. I know I said we are colleagues. Obviously, we're working in the same place, but it's not every single day that we sit down and have these kind of conversations. And
Yeah.
like I said, I've learned a lot. Personally, I've learned a lot from just this one sitting, and I'm just wondering how much can I learn from Karen, right? Like if she knows all of these things that I've been learning, and I see her, what more can I learn? That has been going through my mind the more you share, and
Okay.
we'll wait for people to comment, and I'll surely invite you because there are so many topics and discussions that I would love you to participate in and just give us your 2 cents as an expert in this space. And for my parting shot is if you have a speaker that you think can contribute to this conversation or you want to speak in these conversations, you can leave a comment, you can DM any of the EcoWorld recycling pages, that is LinkedIn, Facebook, X, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. You can literally find us everywhere. We are everywhere. So if you want to speak in this session, you're free to reach out to us. You can also call our number. It's on our website. And I welcome every single person. This is not a space for environmental conservationists only, because the environment goes beyond the people trying to conserve
Yeah.
it. And like Karen is saying, it will take every single person to have wins in this space, in this environment. If you're going to restore and conserve our environment, it will take every single person. So thank you, Karen, again for joining. And I think at this moment we'll just say our goodbyes, and we'll meet in another session and discuss more.
Thank you, Joy. And bye,
Thank you, Karen.
everyone.
Bye.